Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the show that's on in the afternoon, also known as
Afternoon Delight, the break from your day that you need.
That's right. Oh, I love that tagline.
You're welcome.
It's 3 o'clock, Sunny Honeys, and I'm in the studio with my co-host today, Mel. She will be leading the charge with the Pop Culture Thunderdome quiz today. Looks like we're gonna do a little bit of Women's History Month and National Snack Day combined today. So I think you might have a shot here. If not, like you just said, we have Baby Thunderdome for you to pivot on. We do have Meme It or Leave It. I selected and curated some incredible memes for you today to make sure it'll tickle your funny bone. Wow. All right. Reddit Rundown Report. Of course, we have a spicy one, and then we'll get into Is This News? And Hey Girl, Hey Horoscopes.
I have to say, the Reddit reports the last 3 weeks, holy freaking moly,
And
man.
I have to give a big shout out to Rachel out there who really does help me find some really good ones. Between her and I really have fallen in this dark hole of Reddit and trying to find some great ones for everybody. So thank you. I appreciate that comment because a lot of research goes into some of this stuff.
So good.
Very, very cool. All right, let's get into Pop Culture Thunderdome. Mel, can we get some Pop Culture Thunderdome music, please?
Thunderdome quiz, women's history and snacks.
All right. This first one here, we're going to be combining women's history and National Snack Day. This first one. Which woman co-founded the company that created Little Debbie snack cakes? Was it Debbie Fields? Was it Debbie McKee Fowler? Was it Ruth Wakefield or Laura Scudder?
A. Debbie Fields.
Okay. Next up, true or false, Ruth Wakefield invented the chocolate chip cookie by accident when she ran out of Baker's chocolate.
True.
Okay. Next up, multiple guess. Laura Scudder is credited with revolutionizing which snack innovation? Was it the first boxed brownie mix? Was it the sealed potato chip bag? Was it peanut butter cups or microwave popcorn?
Baby Thunderdome, number one, please.
Baby Thunderdome quiz where you can get an answer right. First one, true or false? Little Debbie snack cakes were named after a real little girl.
True.
Excellent job.
That was hard.
All right. Let's see what you picked. Now, this next one, true or false? The original recipe for Rice Krispie treats was created by a Kellogg's male executive in the 1930s.
I think that has to be false because we're talking about Women's Month.
All right. Let's check that out.
Context clues.
Next up, which woman founded the Tate's Bake Shop? My favorite cookies of all time, Tate's Bake Shop. Famous for thin, crispy cookies. Was it Kathleen King? Was it Ina Garten? You know who she is. She's Barefoot Contessa. Sara Lee. Have another. Or Nancy Silverton.
Baby Thunderdome, please.
Baby Thunderdome quiz where you can get an answer right. All right, next one. Chocolate chip cookies have chocolate chips, broccoli, or pickles?
Chocolate chips.
Correct.
I love Baby Thunderdome. It's so funny.
Next up, Little Debbie snack cakes were named after a fictional character created for marketing purposes only.
False.
Okay. Next up, which woman is credited with inventing the modern brownie? Is it Fanny Farmer? Was it Bertha Palmer? Was it Julia Child? Or was it Betty Crocker?
I want to say Betty Crocker, but I don't think she was a real person. I think it's a cookbook. Thunderdome. Baby.
Thunderdome quiz where you can get an answer right. All right, number 3. Potato chips are made from apples, potatoes, or bananas.
This is tough. Potatoes.
Correct. Awesome. Okay. Number 8. Betty Crocker was a real woman who personally tested and developed General Mills baking recipes.
She kept her receipts, though.
I almost said receipt. Sorry.
Baby Thunderdome.
Baby Thunderdome quiz where you can get an answer right. True or false? Brownies are chocolate desserts.
True.
Excellent. Excellent job. All right, number 9. Which woman helped popularize the packaged snack cakes during the Great Depression era? Was it Margaret Rudkin? Was it Florence Butt? Was it Sarah Lee or was it Debbie McKee Fowler?
Baby Thunderdome, please.
Baby Thunderdome quiz where you can get an answer right. All right, multiple choice. Cookies are usually A, crunchy or chewy, B, filled with rocks, or C, made of metal.
A.
Correct.
That's so silly. Can you imagine cookies filled with rocks? Crunch, crunch.
Oh my gosh. Next time sounds like something you would make like a little kids like playing outside.
Ew.
True or false? Potato chips were first packaged in sealed bags by a woman who wanted to keep them fresher for customers.
No, false. I think they were in
Okay.
big canisters.
Excellent job. Let's see the answer key. One moment.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. The first one here. You said what?
I said A, Debbie Fields.
Wrong. It is Debbie McKee Fowler.
Oh.
Little Debbie is named after the founder's granddaughter, Debbie McKee, whose childhood portrait still appears on every box. All right, next up, you said?
True.
Wrong.
Oh, my God.
Ruth Wakefield intentionally added chopped Nestle chocolate to her dough, expecting it to melt fully. It didn't, and history was made. Oh, that's how the chocolate chip cookie.
Interesting.
Next up, you said,
Baby Thunderdome.
in a court of law, you would say,
A.
wrong,
C.
wrong,
D.
wrong.
Okay, B.
Yes. Laura Scudder.
That means I got the other question wrong, too.
Is credited in the 1920s. She pioneered wax paper and later sealed packaging to prevent chips from going stale.
So I missed the other question, too.
Ugh. Next up, you said?
False.
Correct.
Okay.
The recipe of Rice Krispie treats was developed by Mildred Day, a home economist at Kellogg's, to promote the cereal.
Interesting.
Interesting. Next up, you said?
Baby Thunderdome.
In a court of law, you would say?
Kathleen King.
Correct. She started baking and selling cookies at age 11 and her parents' farm stand before building a national brand. Give that lady a raise. Oh, those cookies are so good. They're the
They
Tates.
are good. I like that. And they're good little bags.
And I'll tell you, this is on a rare occasion, the gluten-free ones taste better than the ones with gluten.
Yeah, that's like that. The Kookaburra, they have gluten-free brownies.
Yeah.
They're better than the regular brownies.
Yeah, that's good. Interesting. All right, next up, you said?
Baby Thunderdome.
And a court
Oh,
of
wait.
law.
I said this is Little Debbie snack cakes.
Yeah.
I said false.
You are correct. So the question was, Little Debbie snack cakes were named after a fictional character. You are correct. It is false. Debbie McKee was very real and involved with the company. Next up, you said?
I said Baby Thunderdome.
In a court of law, you would say?
I would say Bertha Palmer.
Correct. The brownie was created by Bertha in 1893 at Chicago World Fair at Palmer House Hotel at her request. Cool.
Very cute.
Next up, you said?
I said Baby Thunderdome.
In a court of law, you would say?
True.
Wrong.
False.
Betty Crocker was a fictional persona created in 1921 to personalize corporate recipe responses. Interesting. You were almost right.
I was almost doesn't count.
That's the truth. Next up, you said?
Baby Thunderdome.
In a court of law, you would say?
I would say Debbie
Correct.
McKee Fowler.
Correct. This is the woman that helped popularize packaged snack cakes. She wanted to make them affordable during tough economic times. Gosh, Debbie, make healthier snack cakes because I do love Little Debbie's. What's your favorite Little Debbie?
The Swiss cake rolls.
See, I'm a Star Crunch guy all the way.
Oh, I do love a Star Crunch.
God, I love Star Crunch.
I like a zebra cake too.
Yeah, they were too bad they're discontinued, I think, or they're hard to find. I don't know, something like that. All right, next up, the last one, I think. What did you say?
False, but it's true.
It is true. Laura Scudder's sealed packaged transformed snack foods nation.
I got an 80. I failed the snack quiz.
You didn't fail. That's still a B. I think that's okay with me. So let's go to Capybara. Yippee! Looking for your wild side with a gentle twist, Sonnies? Say hello to the Capybara Cafe, Florida's most unforgettable animal experience. Get up close and personal with capybaras, reptiles, and the cutest exotic creatures around, all while learning, laughing, and making a real impact. Every visit supports animal shelters, provides sustainability, and delivers educational magic for the whole fam. So don't just scroll, scurry over to thecapybaracafe.com and book your encounter now. the Capybara Cafe, where curiosity lives and your wild heart gets to roam. Oh boy, we got Meme It or Leave It on deck today. All right, this first one. So just because I made several purchases, money gets deducted from my bank account?
Me every day.
Every single time. Next up, the adult version of head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes is wallet, glasses, keys, and phone. Keys and phone.
That is true. And if you're like my husband, you forget one of them and have to go back to the house.
Next up, me knowing everything will be okay because I saw 11:11 on the microwave.
Yep.
Sometimes I run.
I'll tell you, your impersonations are so good.
Next up, what if slugs are just divorced snails?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Michelle took the house.
Aw, snaily dude.
Next up, let's go, girls. The Shania Twain Saw Massacre. Where was that one? Okay, so
Snail,
maybe
and then...
it goes to what's your favorite? Oh, there it is. There it is.
I hit the wrong button. Sorry,
Let's
friends.
go, girls. The Shania Twain Saw Massacre.
That's funny.
Let's go, girls. Next up, freaking hamburger help me.
Yes.
God.
I love a hamburger helper meal once in a while.
Oh, help me, though, for once. Hamburger. Next up, what's your favorite board game, Mel?
Charcuterie.
Yeah! Great job. Charcuterie is the major answer. Next up, they should reverse ID people at the door of loud bars. Oh, wow, you're over 35. You're going to absolutely freaking hate it here. Oh, man, that's incredible. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah.
I'm not coming in now.
I'm not coming in.
Yes.
Next up, shutting the F up is gluten-free. Add that to your diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
I feel like that's one of your cut downs that you can use in the parking lot.
I'm going to use that at schoolyard.
And finally, hootin' is the gateway drug to hollering.
That is so funny. Hootin' and hollering.
Hootin' and hollering.
You know where we can go to hoot and holler?
Oh, I love a Ben and Jerry's moment.
All right, Sonnies, let's be real. Some people chase sunsets, but the rest of us, we chase scoops. And nobody, I mean nobody, serves up good vibes like Ben and Jerry's St. Augustine on St. George Street. Here's the scoop within the scoop. Their catering team is legendary. They roll up cooler first and sprinkle happiness on everything. Weddings, birthdays, block parties, you name it. They don't just serve ice cream, they serve moments you'll never forget. So grab your people, grab your spoons, and head to Ben and Jerry's St. Augustine.
Okay, guys, now is the time for Addie's Reddit Rundown Report. Today's subreddit, of course, is Am I the Asshole?
Favorite.
So, Mel, here's the TLDR. Am I the asshole for divorcing my husband over his best man's 12-minute speech calling me career-ending while he laughed and told me I was too sensitive to be upset?
Okay, so something like that belongs at a joke night at the house.
Yeah.
So give me the deets.
So he started with the joke about a coffin, okay? You know what they call a man on his wedding day? This is what he started with, right? You know what they call a man on his wedding day? The best man tapped the microphone twice, grinning at 140 people who were already leaning forward, ready to laugh. The dearly departed. Half of the room clapped. My new husband sitting right next to me.
Didn't go over well.
It did not go over well. My new husband sitting right next to me at our sweetheart table with his boutonniere still perfectly pinned, started laughing so hard he covered his face with his hand. I smiled because that's what you do. You smile. Then the best man kept going. He talked about how my husband has always been the free one and who traveled on 4 hours of notice, the one who disappeared to Vegas without telling anyone, the one who lived for himself. He said all of this was like a eulogy, and then he turned to me, pointed actually at me, at the reception hall in front of every single person we had invited to celebrate us. And then she came along, he says. Pause. The ball and chain, in quotes. The room laughed. I counted at least 3 of my own aunts laughing. I heard my grandfather laugh from the table behind me. That a little confused laugh from old people do when they're not sure what was said, but everyone else was reacting, so they just jump into the mix. I sat completely still in my dress that cost me 4 months of weekends searching for, and I smiled at the tablecloth. My husband was laughing so hard he reached over and grabbed the best man's arm like, you gotta stop. stop, man. You gotta stop. You're killing me. He wasn't trying to stop him. He was egging him on. The speech ran for 12 whole minutes. I know because I started timing it at the 2-minute mark when it became clear this wasn't just one joke. 12 minutes. In that time, I heard my husband was finally tapped, that he had a good run, and that I was lucky he settled down before he found someone more his speed. And that marriage to me was specifically what one friend had described, and I'm quoting directly, as career ending. My career, the one that I actually built, the one that paid for half of this wedding, and the 10-minute mark of my mother put her hand over mine under the table. She didn't say anything, she just held my hand, and that was somehow the only real thing that happened that night. At 12 minutes and some seconds, the best man raises his glass to the groom, gentleman, legend, and now officially a changed man. God help him. The whole room roared with laughter. Standing ovation. Some of the guys in the background were hooting. My husband stood up and hugged him like he just won an award. I clapped because that's what you do. I smile and I clapped. Here's the thing that nobody tells you about a moment like that. And this is where I slow down for a second because the psychology is real. When you get publicly humiliated at your own wedding, your brain has one job: protect the day. Your nervous system makes a deal with you. It says you can feel all of this later, just not right now. Not in the big dress, not in the front of the photographer, not in front of the grandmother with the confused laugh. So you tuck it somewhere and you smile and you dance and you cut the cake and you get into the car, and later you finally let yourself feel it. It's not just hurt, it's information. In the car on the way to the hotel, I asked him how he thought the night went. He said, incredible. I asked if he thought the speech was funny. He said it was iconic, honestly. People are going to be talking about that for years. I said, what do you think people will be talking about? He said that it was the best wedding speech they've ever heard. I stared out the window at the highway and I thought about the word career ending. And I thought about him grabbing his best man's arm and shaking with laughter. And I thought about the 12 minutes and I thought, okay, I'm going to need to think about this. I gave it 3 whole months of thinking. Wow. I brought it up only twice. Once on our honeymoon and once when we got home. Both times he told me I was too sensitive and that it was just a roast kind of humor and that the best man didn't mean anything by it. The second time he said that I'm saying this exactly. You need to let this go or it's going to be a problem. I'm sorry, I had to adjust my neck for that comment. Not that I understand why I bothered you, not I should have said something, just your feelings are the problem. That was when I started to pay attention to everything else, and there was a lot of everything else. It was the way he talked to me, to his friends when I thought I was in earshot. The comments are my nagging wife when I asked him to be home for dinner. The way he would bring up the speech at dinner parties like, wasn't that so funny? This way, his whole face lit up when people laughed about it again and again and again. Not 6 months into our marriage, not a year, 3 months in, and he was still running the bit. I started writing things down, dates, quotes, context, not because I was planning anything, just because I needed to know I wasn't misremembering. I needed proof that what I was experiencing was real and not a sensitivity problem. By month 8, the notebook had 37 entries. I showed it to a lawyer at month 10. She was not surprised. She has seen this before, she said, not the speech specifically, but the dynamic. A partner who allows public humiliation as a joke is telling you something very clear and how they see you in private. The speech wasn't an accident. It wasn't the best man going rogue. A groom who wanted it stopped would have stopped it. A groom who loved his wife would have stood up and protected her and said, all right, man, that's enough. Instead, mine grabbed his arm and laughed harder. She helped me file at month 11. The filing happened on a Tuesday. I didn't tell him in advance. My lawyer advised against it. And so honestly, I just didn't want to watch him spin it. He found out when he was served. He called me from the driveway. I watched him from the upstairs window, standing next to his car holding the papers, and I answered the phone. He said, "What is this?" I said, "You know what it is." He said, "Because of the speech?" And I said very calmly, because I've been thinking about how to say this for the last 11 months. No, because of what the speech told me. And because you confirmed it every single day after. He went silent. And then he said, "I thought you were over it." I said, "I was never over it. I was just quiet about it." The divorce was finalized 7 months later. He tried twice during the process to characterize me as overly emotional and disproportionate. His own attorney apparently told him to stop bringing up the speech because it wasn't helping the case. The best man texted me once, 4 months into the process, saying he felt terrible and it had just been a joke and he had hoped that we all could move on. I didn't respond. I thought about responding for a while, but here's the thing. You don't owe someone an absolution just because they feel bad. Feeling bad isn't the same as understanding what you did. My mother kept the seating chart from the wedding. She has it in a drawer somewhere. She says she keeps it because it's still technically a document from one of the most important days of my life, which is true. It was important, just not the way I thought it would be. So here's where I'm landing. And I'm genuinely asking because I've had a lot of time to sit with this. I know the speech was wrong. I know he reacted wrong. But sometimes I wonder if I stayed too long in the maybe I'm too sensitive cloud. If I said something louder, sooner, at the table, stood up and made a scene, maybe the dynamic would have shifted. Maybe. Or maybe I would have just gotten told I embarrassed everyone. I filed. He lost the house in the settlement because it was purchased with money from my family, which my lawyer was very good at establishing clearly and at the start. He moved back into his old apartment. The best man, I heard through mutual people, lost 2 friendships from the wedding party who eventually told him the speech wasn't actually funny. Small consequence maybe, but it happened. I don't regret filing. I don't regret the timeline, but I do think about the moment at the sweetheart table when I was smiling at the tablecloth and my mother put her hand over mine. She knew before I did. So, am I the asshole for filing over a wedding speech that everyone said was just a joke?
All I know is the way my brain works, the minute this speech started, I would have looked at my husband and I would have said, "This is how you really feel about me? You think this is funny?" And I would have stopped the speech. Or my mother or my sisters would have stopped the speech.
So, do you think the problem was the speech itself or the husband's alignment with it?
I think it was the husband's alignment. That's that typical good old boys club mentality. That's the minute when you were reading about what the speech was saying, in my head, I'm going, the good old boys club.
So you co-host this show often, and we often hear from you saying that people need to have a better sense of humor in life.
Yeah, but this wasn't humorous. This was hurtful. Like at first I thought, okay, well, this is kind of funny.
Like, suck it up, Becky. It's kind of like a roast.
I thought some of it was like silly, right? But then as the speech continues on and he's droning in on her and going in on her, and then the reaction of the husband, he's laughing like that. Like, at what point didn't the husband say, "Whoa, bro, this is not funny"? If the best man is truly your person and you're like go-to and you're ride or die, they wouldn't have taken it that far.
Straight males have this tendency of, they saw a roast on TV.
Oh, and they just repeat
Tom
it.
Brady's roast, very famous. Tom Brady's roast. They went and they thought, "Wow, this is really funny. This is what I want to do. I'm going to be in front of a crowd for the first time, and I can have this opportunity to roast." That's guy brain, and that's what this best man thought. However,
there's a time and a place for a
there's
roast,
a
and a
time
wedding
and a
is not it.
place.
Who gave him a microphone?
So on your wedding, because I've never had one, like a best man speech, is that something that is
Like sentimental.
pre-rehearsed? Like, is it all
No,
surprise?
It's usually you tell the people who, hey, you're going to give a speech. You tell the people,
right.
But then they do their own speech. However, you can give them guidelines, which I would suggest. But to be honest, this best man seems like he's the asshole, because it seems like even if there were guidelines given, he would have done what he wanted anyway. Because it seems like he was bitter in his good old boy mentality. I'm losing my best friend.
Right.
You're really not.
And he's not going to get a permission slip for bad behavior on a day like this.
Right.
Like, hello.
He knew nobody was going to say anything to him against his wedding. Now, my family, that would not have flown.
But so then, yeah, totally. That would not have flown. But I wonder why would we reward cruelty when it's delivered confidently on a microphone in front of 140 people like that?
Because this is the way society, everything we see online,
That was
and
so
everything,
mean.
It teaches people how to be cruel and mean, and it teaches people, oh, you got to have a better sense of humor. There's a time and a place. This was not the time nor the place, and I think the world is turning people into a very cruel, cold society. Look at what we look at. Let's jam down our eyeballs and our ears every day.
Right.
From the point you get up to the point you go to bed.
Right.
Nastiness.
Right. But I picked this story because she was called too sensitive, and I'm always called too sensitive. But I pay attention because I'm empathetic. I pay attention to
You read
details.
between the lines very well, and I think that's what people internalize as too sensitive because they can't put the blame on you the way you're receiving the message.
Yeah.
Okay, or they have to put the blame on you for the way you're receiving it, not the way or what they're saying, because
Right.
they have to make. Because in society, once again,
You flip the script.
you're making people. We have to have somebody be a scapegoat. We can't be responsible for our own actions. What do you mean I hurt your feelings?
Right.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It's the way you heard it. I'm just kidding.
He should have roast his bro. I think that would have been a different dynamic here.
Yeah.
He should not have roasted a woman. I think that just looks real skeevy. Like if it was her maid of honor and she roasted her. Like you see how that lineage.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
they understand each other so much to the point that I know that I'm not going. Like if I was roasting you because I'm one of your greatest girlfriends of all time, I'm not going to go for the jugular on that. I know where your sensitive points are.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to say them on air, but yeah. Well, I'm not. I mean, but that's
Right.
if case in point. I could roast
Exactly.
you on air in front of all this public, and I don't do that. It's occasionally a slap and tickle that I know you can handle,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to spend, what do we say, how long are our shows? Like, 50, 60 minutes and roast you the entire time. That's not healthy.
I think this guy just took he said, this
It
is
was
my
like
moment.
locker room behavior and that
Stupid.
culture, that roasting culture, that it's just not right to do. He didn't know her really well, right? Other than she's the villain in his, bro fest mentality.
I agree.
Can we talk about the freeze response though? Like how many people would confuse freezing with agreeing on that situation?
Everybody.
Yeah. Because he was just like, do I side with my bro or do I side with my new wife?
The mom knew it was a freeze moment for her daughter. And
Yeah.
She grabbed her hand.
Yeah.
Moms know, man.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you this because you are not the type to stay composed when they're.
I would say something.
Yeah. So why do we put that expectation on women to stay composed when they're being disrespected in public?
I think it goes back to like the 40s, the 30s, 40s, 50s.
Possession, control.
Yeah, where you're supposed to just be pretty, sit down and be quiet. Smile nice for the camera, but don't have an opinion. Look pretty, but don't be smart.
So I would have just gotten up and walked out of the room. I just would, and that would have been enough. I don't have to make a big scene. It doesn't have.
You're better at that than I am. Your ability to bite your tongue and put on that smile and walk away is so much better than mine.
Well, it still would have been a strong.
Oh, that would have been a way better sentiment.
It was totally strong sentiment than actually like sitting there and taking it. I really think that she should have exited the situation because she didn't want to be a part of that situation. And then that could have, there would have been an ooh and an ah in the audience, but still enough to know the fact to exit that situation and not be. I felt so bad for it, like a victim of it.
But I don't blame. And you know what? I don't fault her for what she chose to do. It's her choice.
So I do want to get into the minutia of when she started to write things down. Is that a healthy response to this, do you
Yes.
think? Okay.
I've done that. I've been in situations where I was like, you know what? I need to write this down because I may need it. I have a purple notebook.
Yeah.
Because purple's my favorite color. There was a situation in my life that happened. So I said, I learned from my mom. And also, too, if you don't document it, it never really happens. So I said, I'm going to start writing stuff down. And I got a notebook and I wrote down. I still have this said notebook. And I went as far back as my mind could remember. And I started in reverse. I wrote what currently happened all the way back through so you can see. It's documentation.
It's really important because the stories evolve and stories change over
facts
time.
don't change.
And the facts don't change. So I did think, because I think she started to get into her head after that third month, it was like, I don't know if this marriage is right, is the right fit. And she knew that she had all the power in the situation because she owned the house.
Can you imagine what her life would be like 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road?
And exactly, that's exactly what she was manifesting. She was like, "What am I getting myself into? Is this going to be
forever.
This kind of culture my whole life?" And I'm sorry, she's not going to play the little woman.
What did he mean by career ending? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like his career
understand.
being a bachelor, like he could just fly out to Vegas on a whim.
So
like
it sounds like the best man is like, okay, well, we're not in our 20s
Douche.
anymore. You got to grow up.
Yeah.
It's what we used to call, like, in high school at parties, when the college guys would come to the high school parties, we call them college Chris's.
yeah.
Or high school Harrys.
Yeah.
That's what this guy sounds like, creepy.
Yeah.
He's probably
yeah.
going to get arrested on, like, stuff found on his computer.
I mean, another big red flag is when her ex-husband or husband at the time, whatever, he was framing her feelings as a problem. And I'm sorry, if you're going to go for better or for worse, like feelings are not the feelings are amazing because you're passionate about something and you're paying attention to detail, and that's your vibe. That's what you're feeling. You should never apologize for your feelings, ever, ever, ever. I want to make that clear because we've always been forced into like a corner or a box to make ourselves smaller when we belong exactly where we stand. Yeah.
And two, I think it's generational stuff. You and I both grew up in that suck it up buttercup generation.
I hate that. I think that people need to feel more.
I think there's a time and a place for that mentality.
Yeah.
In sports, I think there is. I do think there is okay, well, your stunt fell. Well, guess what? Suck it up. Do better. That's the place for that.
Walk it off.
Right. You know, when obviously someone's arm is not broken or their leg is not broken. But I think that's a place for that mentality. Do I think it's in everyday life? Sometimes not really. I don't know. I don't think in this situation it's accurate.
Well, a marriage is what? A union.
Hard.
A union of loyalty, essentially, because you're being loyal to each other. And I feel like you should be loyal in defending your spouse when it's even socially inconvenient. I think so.
But I also say be careful who you pick as your potential partner, because I can tell you right now.
Yeah, true.
Thinking back to the people of Jim's friends that came to the wedding, that nobody, especially his brother, would never say anything bad or come in at me. I will say the people that on his friends that attended the wedding, not one of them would have done this. Now, he does have a friend that tried to do something like this, and I right away said, picked up my phone. Mm-hmm. You want to have a chat? Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
And then he called Jim and was super upset. But Jim knows his wife, and he's like, "This is my wife.
Yeah.
You can't speak about her or treat her that way."
I mean, if your partner, that's a great point you're saying, because like if your partner doesn't defend you in public, what are they doing with you in private?
Nothing.
Yeah.
You're just their roommate that you make out with.
What do we owe? Yeah. What do we owe each other in public? And what do we owe each other in private?
I think you stand up for them in public more than you would in private.
Right.
Because that's you know what? I say all the time, Jim and I, we are a team.
Yeah.
We're united, even when he's messy, and I don't disagree with how his brain works, because his brain works very differently than mine. But we're a team.
Yeah.
You know, and you stand up for your team. So this girl, man, I feel
love is a primary feeling, and then for him to say that her feelings are a problem, I'm still stuck on that.
She picked the wrong guy.
At first, when I was getting into this story, I was kind of like, come on, honey, where's your sense of humor? It's no big deal. Until it started to get bigger and bigger, and it really did bother her. And she is right, and she is valid in those feelings. And if he would have apologized the next day, or have said, "Honey, I know that really bothered you, sweetheart," something like that, that would have been a game changer for me. Just because he acknowledges it, owns it, and then let's grow from it.
If you were say this is you and I, because we are pretty much married. And you would have come to me and been like, "Listen, babe, I'm real sorry." I would have been like, "Then why didn't you stop it?"
Right.
That's where my brain would have get. I would have said, "I appreciate you acknowledging it, but tell me why you didn't stop it."
Fine, perfect. Case in point, that's great. But that's still opening up that conversation. They went months and months with her trying to talk about, trying to have that communication, and that never happened.
That's that bro mentality.
I don't love it.
They gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go to Panache. Every guest, every time. Since 1987, Panache opened its doors to be a cut above the rest. Their mission at Panache is to care for their team, their guests, and community from scalp to soul and bring the joy to the world one service at a time. The Panache difference is their carefully chosen and highly trained staff there to exceed your expectations. The same goes for their elegant salon space, dedicated to guest comfort and devotion to innovation and artistry. They're focused on making your day and continually raising the bar by aligning with Aveda's mission. You gotta get Panache.com and get with it, boo. Okay, let's get into Is This News? We got 3 news stories in front of us, and we are going to be the judge and the jury. Let me know today. Is it going to be newsworthy, or is it going to be like, meh? All right, this first one, Fry Me a River.
That's funny.
The Great Waffle Fry Reversal. All right, Chick-fil-A changed the recipe of their iconic waffle fries, and the internet went absolutely not after quietly adding PEA starch to the formula, allegedly for crispiness. Fans noticed, but not in a good way. Social media lit up, Reddit revolted, influencers declared it was a carb crisis, and now Chick-fil-A has officially reversed course. The waffle fries are back to their original glory. This is not a drill. This is a fry freedom victory. And somewhere, someone dipped a waffle fry in Chick-fil-A sauce and said, "We did it."
Here's the thing. Okay, it's not about French fries, right? Here's the thing. You go to certain places because you love it, you trust it, you know it's going to be good, you know it's going to be consistent.
Right.
Then you go and it's not. You're like, what the hell happened? If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Waffle fries aren't really crispy. They're supposed to be a little bit softer, but it makes it fun to eat because they're in a cool shape. So I agree with the people of the world. And pea starch, it's not always harmless for people. It does have a lot of people are allergic to it, to be honest. Like the pea protein, PEA protein, they put in like smoothies and stuff. A lot of times they won't say they put it in there, and people have allergic reactions. Before you're a national chain like that, I understand what they were trying to do, but leave the crispy fries to McDonald's. Stay in your lane, Chick-fil-A. You're doing just fine.
So
Don't change it.
Two sides of this story. One are, I have to say it, tariffs. I mean, they are changing the way we're getting ingredients from the rest of the world, and so that's going to change the paradigm on how. Because we would be bitching about if the prices of these waffle fries went 300% up, and then we're like, I'm not affording this, blah blah blah. But we kept the recipe original.
Right.
So there's that side of the story. The other side of the story is addiction. So why do people react so strongly when comfort foods change?
Because they're not supposed to. They're comfort foods for a reason, because when you eat them, you feel comfy, you feel safe and secure, and it's like, And
I think we're addicted to this fast food culture. I mean, I've always been against fast food just because there's something not right about it.
I like it
Do I love it? Oh my God, it tastes delicious. Of course.
Once in a while, it's, you know what, you guys, it's good. And I did go through about 2 weeks there when I went to fast food like every day for 2 weeks. My stomach was a disaster.
Well, what's that documentary with the
Super Size Me?
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, so Super Size Me came out in the early 2000s, late 1990s. And it was, what was the guy's name? Michael something. And he did a documentary about McDonald's. And he, for 30 days, he ate nothing but McDonald's for all 3 meals. Thank you. And whenever they said, would you like to supersize it, he had to say yes. Within a matter of 2 weeks, his blood pressure shot up. He started having like cardiovascular situations. At the end of the 30 days, he ended up in the hospital. Because your body is not meant to sustain like processed food.
High sodium.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, give me some salty food and French fries any day. And it's weird because when I was younger, I didn't really do French fries. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I want some French fries. I think everything is good in moderation, but don't change your recipes. Leave them alone for all the people of the world.
I have to ask you one more last question.
Yeah.
If the public backlash is loud enough, should companies always reverse their decisions like this? Okay.
I don't think so, because I think sometimes things are done for a good way, like Taco Bell. People, again, it's not healthy, so they made this like fresh menu.
Yeah.
And the fresh menu actually outsells the regular menu.
That's really interesting to me. Okay.
They listened to the public. They're like, we love Taco Bell, but it's too, the calories are too high or whatever. So they made adjustments, and it's actually really good.
And forgive me, I'm not really familiar with their menu, but Nacho Bell Grande.
Yeah, that's them.
That was discontinued, I believe.
I love that.
And then this was another internet thing, like bring it back.
They brought back the Mexican pizza because the people yelled loud enough. Problem was, when it came back, it didn't taste the same.
It didn't taste the same. Case in point.
Yeah.
So I think this is newsworthy.
Sequels are not always good, David.
We need to be able to talk about what is going into our bodies so that we can live and prosper efficiently. All right, next up, boom to bloom. Croatia is officially landmine free.
Yes.
This is the kind of headline that deserves a standing ovation. Croatia has officially declared itself landmine free for more than 2 decades of Demining efforts, so getting them out of there. Let's pause on that. For over 20 years, teams have been clearing explosive remnants left from the Balkan War in the 1990s. Thousands of mines, forests, fields, hiking trails, farmlands, and villages are now cleared. This isn't flashy. This is no celebrities involved. This is a viral moment of patient, meticulous, life-saving work. Enter landscapes now that went from danger to walk freely. So this isn't good news. This is like generational relief.
This is huge, you guys. So I know it's not trending snack drama, but landmines don't disappear when wars end. They sit underground for decades. They injure civilians, farmers, children, wildlife, ecosystems, plants, things like that. So Croatia has been methodically removing these hidden threats for more than 20 years. So think about what this means. Plants get to grow back. Wildlife will start to come back. Kids and families can go on hikes and walk around. They can start building more things in Croatia now because they don't have to worry about how far.
So I want to talk about my dad real quick because he had 2 tours over in Iraq, and one of his biggest fears, and my dad was not a big fearful person, but one of his big fears was having to go pee in the middle of the night. And where are you walking? And if you walked on one of these landmines, you're done. And unfortunately, he saw a situation that actually happened to a soldier, and that put so much fear in his heart. I get choked up thinking about it because my dad was like this incredible soldier and was completely 1,000,000% on board with being a part of the Army and being a sergeant major over there. But he had that fear, and I can't even think about fear and my dad in the same sentence. But stepping on one of these landmines. So if you think about Croatia now in the story, this whole country is now free of these landmines. Where you just said families can enjoy their backyards and their parks and their villages. I think it's so big.
They also have landmines that are called daisy chains.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what these are. They are like a chain, and then there's mines and bombs attached to it. Right. So when somebody steps on the first one, it sets off a chain reaction. It's called the daisy chain.
I wonder, since this happened back in the 90s, and unfortunately we feel like the 90s were like yesterday, but really how does all of this invisible danger, how does that change families? I still, I know you would still be a little bit I'm not sure.
I still am, because you do realize there's still stuff like that lurking
Mel would
around.
be like, oh, go ahead, go play, Becky.
You guys, go ahead, sugar.
Let me watch Becky. Oh, she's good. Then you feel like it would be okay to go out there. So I feel
give it a shot first.
The government or leadership really kind of needs to put that out there.
Do you also, okay, so I'm going to have a tinfoil hat moment here. Do you think sometimes they won't clean up the landmines because they don't want certain areas inhabited?
Maybe. And maybe, I don't know. But, I mean, obviously, Croatia went on the proactive route. They want it to be happening because, obviously, there's no economical force there.
Croatia's beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning, but nobody wants to go because of the landmines.
Yeah, that's true. But not anymore. We can go now.
Well, we'll wait till Becky goes and plays in the pasture, right?
Becky, test it out for us.
God bless Becky. But, Becky, I think that's definitely newsworthy for me. Congratulations, Croatia. Just get the trust of the people back, and then I think you'll be smooth sailing.
I like that plants and animals can come back.
Yeah. All right, we've got a new big announcement. It's fun to stay in leadership at YMCA. It gets a new head honcho. The First Coast YMCA officially named a new leader at the top. And yeah, it's fun to stay at the YMCA. So the Y isn't just treadmills and swim lessons. It's childcare, after-school programs, it's summer camps, it's community anchors in neighborhoods that rely on stability. So when a new head takes over, that's his MO. The leadership of the YMCA shapes programming, funding priorities, outreach, and who gets access to safe spaces. So talk about this a little bit, Mel.
I think this is awesome. So the YMCA is one of those institutions that parents rely. They do all kinds of things. They teach kids how to swim, so they teach water safety, and being on the coast in Florida, that's super duper important. Seniors also build community there because they do a lot of events for seniors. They give scholarships and access programs to support families who might not otherwise be able to afford recreations. And inclusive programs happen here. And they also have different organizations within the YMCA that helps funding. and partnerships get prioritized. So it's not just gym gossip; it is infrastructure news.
So when we went to the West Augustine ribbon cutting, we actually had a chance to meet this guy. The First Coast YMCA announced that Daryl Head is the new president and chief executive officer, succeeding Eric Mann, who's done incredible work over here. Head brings 38 years of experience to the YMCA, beginning as a program participant and ascending through roles as volunteer, part-time staffer, and then senior executive. So most recently, he served as president and CEO of the YMCA of North Carolina.
Okay.
Your people, supervising 14 branches and 4 wellness centers, serving nearly 80,000 members and 1,400 employees. Pretty cool. So he has the chops.
I like the fact that he went all the way through it. He
started from the bottom, worked his way to the top.
This guy wanted to be. He is the YMCA, and he represents every family and what hard work can do, and he believes in it. So to be honest, that's what I want in a leader.
And I think it's still an important thing, especially for kids that are growing up. They don't have enough activity. The YMCA has always been a tried and true resource, especially for swim lessons. I know that too. I definitely think this is newsworthy.
I think it's news too.
Super cool. Let's celebrate with a glass of wine from Bin 39. Bin 39, the hidden gem of downtown St. Augustine since 2016. This is your secret getaway to a fabulous time. It's tucked away inside the lobby of the St. George Inn, and this charming spot boasts a courtyard setting that's straight out of a dream at the north end of St. George Street. Their wine collection features over 85 unique gems, is a journey into the extraordinary. You'll find wines from both small and large producers. They're open daily from 8 to 8 and Thursday to Sunday from 1 to 7. You got to check them out. Bin 39. So
I love it.
Slight. It's a slight shimmy.
But I love it. That's my favorite part. Where at the end of that, he has his wine. He goes, tasty.
Well, these are going to be tasty. Hey, girl, hey, horoscopes today. We only got 2. We got Libra, and of course, I'm on deck with Scorpio.
Yeah. Oh, you better get ready.
Libra, the cultivator, your aesthetic intelligence, your symmetry, polished neutrals. Try some movement that feels intentional. Your power accessory is going to be a silk scarf. Wear that for some good luck this week. And you create harmony without losing yourself. 19.
Oh, that's so nice.
79, horrible horoscope for Libra. You are not balanced. You're strategically agreeable. You don't avoid conflict. You just avoid rejection. You read the room like it's oxygen, then edit yourself accordingly. You call it diplomacy. It's called branding.
Hilarious.
You smile through things that insult you, just like the bride. You laugh at the jokes that diminish you. You say, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's a survival skill. Prediction, you will overcommit, underexpress, and privately rage while publicly performing your grace.
Okay,
You will disappoint someone on purpose this week. Watch who leaves the room. The ones that stay are the ones that are true. Brutal truth, if everyone feels comfortable around you, it's because you're the one absorbing the discomfort. Final warning, one day you'll wake up admired by everyone and unrecognizable to yourself. I think that was more wise than horrible.
I don't think that was that. I was waiting for the
Right. This one was more like, you better shape up or shape out.
But let's see what the stars have in store for you,
All
bro.
right, Scorpio, the depth walker today.
Oh.
You thrive beneath the surface. Monochrome power is going to be your style oracle. Your power accessory is a dark leather jacket.
Okay.
It feels like armor. Your affirmation is, my depth is a gift, not a weapon. Scorpio. 1979 horrible horoscopes. Congratulations, you're the winner.
Yay, you love when you win.
Thank you. You're the best sign on the planet.
Oh my God.
However, you're holding a knife to my throat, forcing me to say this in front of others.
David.
You're calculated as usual with excellent lighting. You don't fall in love, you acquire leverage. You don't trust chemistry, you test it. You are hot fire in bed, everyone knows that. But the heat, it's not just passion, it's strategy. You burn your lover's soul before they reach the peak. You memorize weakness between kisses. Your catalog confessions are like evidence. Prediction. Your sense of shift into someone else's tone, microscopic, imaginary, or both being emotional warfare between who you know and who you don't. Your action step is have one conversation without gathering ammunition. Relax, bitch, damn.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what it says. All right, brutal truth. Your intensity is intoxicating until it becomes feral. Final warning. If you keep loving like a blood oath and fighting like a trial attorney, don't be shocked when people desire you wildly, but never feel safe enough to stay. Put your stinger back in your pants.
Oh my
Again
God.
this week, Scorpio. That thing is a weapon. I mean,
You're hilarious.
I'm just saying, the stars don't lie.
So sassy.
Well, Sonnies, that's a wrap on our whimsical Wanderlust Wednesday. We chilled, we thrilled, we laughed, we thrived, and most importantly,
we survived.
oh, we did. Tomorrow morning, we will be back at what time?
9 a.m., friends.
We have the St. Augustine Orchestra coming
God,
on. We
I
have
can't wait.
2 incredible students with some incredible stories.
kiddos.
I can't wait to interview them tomorrow. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Share the show. Bye, Sonnies.
Bye, guys. Bro. I just